We go hard.
All right, everybody, welcome to the Brooklyn Show. I am your host, Jonathan Tager, and I am here with Mr. Joe Hamill of 3 Men in a Truck, 2 Men in a Truck?
Well, two men in a truck.
2 Men in a Truck, which, if you can't guess, that is a moving company.
Correct.
So welcome to the show, man.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming.
I appreciate it.
You know, I love the world now that we live in because, you know, I've known you, 4 or 5 years?
Sure.
Something like that?
Absolutely.
And we reconnected online, and like we've gone back and forth a bunch of times.
Yes.
But we've never seen each other until today. So
It's amazing. The whole dynamic of where you and I were at different organizations as well initially.
Yeah.
And here we are in front of this amazing pizza that I'm like trying to block the fourth wall here of this pizza.
No, by the way,
this is insane.
It's pouring rain. For those of you who don't live in New York City, like we just had a typhoon. I mean, I'm not even kidding you. A typhoon.
Yeah.
I mean,
Monsoon.
it was hardcore rain. And I had to go Grimaldi's. I don't know if anyone doesn't know who Grimaldi's Pizza is. Grimaldi's Pizza is, like, I would say arguably the best pizza in New York City.
It's top. It's up there.
Right?
It definitely is.
Put it this way, they're the only pizza place I know of where there is consistently a line out front that's at least 20 deep at all times of the day.
Absolutely.
And the funny thing is, my wife, who does the PR for the show, she got Grimaldi's to donate pizza to us.
Tremendous.
And I'm like, this is fantastic. I'm gonna walk right in. I'm gonna go right in front of all the people. Because what I used to do, I used to order. My move was I would call Grimaldi's, and I would place an order for pickup.
Okay.
And then I would walk in front of the line.
Sure.
But they won't allow you to do that anymore. So now I was like, all right, but I got a pizza because they were giving it to the show.
Sure.
They were sponsoring the show. And anyway, it was pouring rain. I pulled up right in front and I walked in. There was like no one in that line. So even though I had VIP access, I didn't need my VIP access.
That's okay. You know what? At the end of the day, as long as you get the pie and it's still piping hot to eat, you don't have to. Telling you all day.
Please help yourself. Actually, look, can we get some plates? Because I think, please, there's no way you can look at that pie and not eat Grimaldi.
I married a nice Italian girl from Brooklyn, so I'm not short on carbs. So
nice
but
Italian girl.
I did.
How'd you meet your wife?
Wow. So through mutual friends, my wife Elena, who was born and raised from Windsor Terrace. So. We met.
Elena is an Italian?
Elena, E-L-E-N-A, correct. So Elena could be Hispanic, Russian, Italian.
I'm thinking Russian, yeah.
Right, like in the WNBA, Elena Deladonna is another Italian.
Is that her maiden name, Deladonna?
So it's not. It's actually Torillo is her mother's side, and then Gregson is her dad, who's the maiden name. But it's really the best of all worlds Brooklyn because. We have Sunday dinner. My mother-in-law wants to know if...
Keep going, I'm listening.
Yeah. How many people are coming over? Because she's got to make gravy for everybody, right? Because we're eating... Thank you. Because we're eating, 3 pounds of macaroni and brajol, and you know what?
Brajol.
Oh.
You're either Italian or you're married to Italian.
Listen.
So you can say brajol.
Exactly. I had to learn... I'm from upstate, I had to learn how to say mozzarella when you pack,
Cheers, though.
There it is. Absolutely.
Pretty good.
I didn't have to wait in line for it. It's the best part.
You didn't have to wait in line.
I did not have to wait. Thank you, Grimaldi's Pizza.
I appreciate it. Oh, good.
It's very good.
In Dumbo, we're at the waterfront for
Old Fulton Street. Yeah.
But that's arguably the best pizza in New York City. So you had brajol.
Yeah. So we, I don't know, through mutual friends, and we met in a bar in the city, and
you had mutual friends?
Yeah. So my friend was playing in a bar at Fontana's in Chinatown, and she was there to support his now wife because she taught with her, and then I was there because
they were friends.
Yeah, and
but you didn't know she was going to be there.
No, not at all.
It's
look at you. Yeah, and then it's the whole I got to go see about a girl, So I was living on Long Island and decided to come in, and I've been living in Brooklyn now for about 7 years now. So
7 years. And you live in Bay Ridge, you said?
So we lived in Windsor Terrace originally, moved to Bay Ridge, And as of this past month, we moved actually back to Windsor Terrace. So to be close with my in-laws and family, since we have a little guy now, Nick, who's 1. So
again, I know everything because I see you on social
media.
media.
It is. I don't even have to tell you this.
I don't need to talk to you.
We have. This is nothing news. Like you know all this. So you know, if you have eyes, you already know my life. So
it is a little weird, right? When you run into people you don't see all the time, and then they're like, "Oh, dude, I see your kids. They look, they're so cute."
It really it changes everything. Like it changes how you can talk or even don't talk, and you feel never disconnect because you always have a piece of whatever people want to show you, right?
I always feel that when I post stuff, it always comes back to bite me in the ass,
How so?
I'll post like someone will be like, I won't want to hang out with someone, and I'll be like, you know what, I'm busy Saturday night, I could stay in or something, and then I'll go out and I'll take a picture of me out or something with some friends. They'll be like, I thought you weren't feeling well Saturday night, I'll be like, oh.
Hey, jerk store, right?
100%. Like, there's nothing good. You think something good's gonna come from your post, nothing good comes from posting.
All you do is they just break balls. All they do.
We totally break balls.
So
let's talk about moving, man. Let's talk about. So talk to me. So you start. How long you started the company? How long?
So the company, 2 Men and a Truck, is the largest franchise mover in the world. So we are one of 350 locations. It's a family-run. Worldwide, 5 countries,
Germany,
42 states.
This in Germany?
No, Germany, South Africa, Ireland, Canada, U.S., and I think UK. I think is the other one. So
you had a franchise. So you franchised it.
Correct. So I am the sales executive for their location. Our owner is actually we're one of 2 of his locations.
Yeah.
So. But we opened up a year ago here in Long Island City. But it was my moving experience, and he sought me out and said, I need a Sherpa. I need somebody to kind of navigate this whole New York City, landscape, because unlike any other city, the elevator reservations are 9 to 4, and you know what? There's COIs needed for everything. By the way,
what's a COI? Tell people what a COI is.
So COI is a certificate of insurance that any landlord, property manager needs as documentation of liability for a vendor to come in and operate on their property. So if I was to move you out of your apartment, I'd ding up your walls or scratch your doorway. Who's going to come pay for it? This guy, because we have insurance. So
you're insured up to what? $1 million?
Default right now is like 5, but you get into some real prime time buildings, something like the new 300 Ashland or something down there. They're going to look for like 10 or 15 million probably, because they're selling it at $2,000 a square foot.
What do you do at 300 Ashland that costs 10 or 15?
We're not going to find out. I'll tell you that. Because
by the way, did you see the photo, Lloyd, I took of the Domino's building?
No.
It's looking good. I put it on the drive.
No, I'll have to check it out.
You missed it. Really good.
Shame on me. What was that?
Lloyd missed it. No, anyways, I'm just thinking of 2 trees and their projects coming together. Yeah.
That's cool. Yeah, they're. You think about the developments, how big Brooklyn has just gotten. And I had this conversation actually over Father's Day weekend with somebody about how Brooklyn is just a brand. Like it's such a worldwide. It's like when you say Paris or London, there is no like. Oh, you mean like London, Argentina? Like no, like there's only one. Brooklyn. You say to anybody in the world, and they know exactly where you're at and what you're talking about. And I think that the way that people covet it now and come in and want to be part of that so much. It's just created the boom that
You think it might be overvalued, maybe?
I think there's some people late to the party, and I think. At some point, the greed gets a little thick, where people think that again, like a building at $2,000 a square foot can be sold off, and I think it's tough. I think there's always going to be a desire for brownstones and for real, authentic living spaces.
This is a true story. I just saw a price drop today.
Mm.
Literally, I just got the email right now. From Ryan Serhant, too, of $1 Million.
Yeah, sure.
And it was like a Carroll Gardens brownstone. I didn't look at the listing, but it was like $7.5 million. Originally priced at $7.5 million. It just dropped the price to like $5.8 million. I'm like, can you fathom a price drop like that? So you just dropped the price like 30%.
I mean,
30% drop, 2.5, and honestly, I haven't seen it, so I want to see the. I still think 5.8 million.
Sure.
For a Carroll Gardens brownstone is too much.
It's still too much. I mean, for right now, again, and people also have to like understand what they're looking to buy and get into, which is the whole. I want it to look authentically old on the outside. I want brand new on the inside, right?
Yeah.
I want updated finishes. I want
yes,
exactly. So you know.
So you said you're in Bay Ridge.
So we were in Bay Ridge, which is
in Bay Ridge.
We're in Bay Ridge. So we lived actually right near the water, and very nice neighborhood. Which you know is funny that
like
you didn't
Saturday Night Fever. You got a little Saturday Night Fever going on.
Our house you could see in Saturday Night Fever because the guys playing basketball, you know, are up the street. And,
right.
Yeah. So, but back in Windsor Terrace, which is where my wife is from, and that's
Oh, you're back in Windsor.
We are, as of like 3 weeks ago.
That's
so
a good move. That's a good move.
Yeah, so
What moved you?
I got a guy.
How does that work?
I got another. Because there's two guys, so I got a guy.
So now, if you feel nice, if you got to tip those guys. I mean,
you know,
it's
listen. I made sure. I made sure. You know.
I'm sure you tipped them well.
Yeah, you know. Listen, I got to see it. You know, I might have to see him again.
See him every day. You know? See, I would hate that. I would hate that like situation. You know, it would be too much pressure for me. I'd be like, oh, dude.
You know what's very funny though is that when a lot of times, so when you have a professional relationship, especially in a moving company, so I'm the sales guy and the movers, you know, they're just like I said, we're compartmentalized in the aspects of the business. But when they actually see where I live, they meet my family, and that for a whole day they get to be part of like kind of where I'm from and where I live. And it really like I get a lot more, you know. Good mornings, what's up, hey Joe, like, and because it really is like this, where it kind of it shows that, you know, you're not just a guy who's showing up with a collar every day, and I got to pick up the heavy stuff, and you don't, like, kind of a thing, right?
Yeah.
So, and when they say, you know what, here's my wife,
my kid.
No, I'm not. But at the same time, though, like, it's an interesting dynamic because moving's really hard work. People don't realize. Guess what? It's 100 degrees. Oh, you're in a third floor walk up.
Today would have been a shitty day to have to move someone.
But guess what? We did.
It was like 100 degrees all day.
Yes.
And then it poured rain towards the end of the day. So they're unloading in the rain.
And you know what? It doesn't discriminate. You have to get it done because guess what? You're committed to the transaction or whatever is going on that it's got to get done. It's got to get done.
Let's talk pricing.
Can do.
Right?
Can do.
So let's just talk. All right. Let's just start with like, all right, 1-bedroom apartment, 700 square feet, something like that. And you're moving in the city, somewhere in the city to the city, something like that.
Okay.
What's that going to cost you? Let's just start. You pack. So I pack. Let's say I'm the guy. I pack.
Yep.
What's it going to cost me to move 1-bedroom apartment?
I gotcha. So if you want us to come in and just handle the furniture, which means we're going to disassemble your bed, we're going to blanket wrap everything, but you're packing all the boxes yourself.
I'll pack all the dishes.
I gotcha. You're going to be looking at probably somewhere between $600 and $800, depending on the access to the buildings. Because guess what? Maybe there is some extra stairs.
Walk-up's a little more.
Thank you. Are there extra? Is there? Maybe we have to park around the block because of construction, or maybe there's certain things where, and those are, you know.
How do you price those out? You got to go. You have to go and price them out.
It's a good question. So we do schedule in-home surveys, which again I'll do myself personally or one of our staff. We also try to just, visually.
Mine or yours?
That's yours.
It is?
Yes.
Yours?
I'm right here. So.
Watch the bullshit. Okay.
So we're so as long as we have some sort of visual on certain things, like if you talk about, I have a very antique armoire, like I want you to text me a picture of it. I want to see what it looks like, or hey, this is what's going on with our our access or the building or this. Again, we can Skype, we can do FaceTime, whatever. Just so as long as we get an idea of what
we're talking $800.
$800. So
I think that's fair.
That's very fair. Like I said, if you want us to compact things, you're probably looking at closer to 1,000.
What's a proper tip per man? So what on that 1-bedroom move?
Yep.
What is it? 2 guys, 3 guys?
Yep. So
2 or 3?
It depends. It would be either 2 or 3, depending on how much stuff you got. So
What do you on that? It's going to cost you, let's say, $800.
Yep.
Figure what, 80 a man or something?
I would say so. Here's the general rule of thumb that I was taught, which is $5 per hour per guy. So if a guy works a full 8-hour day, and you know what, you want to, You want to make it nice, give them $50, like, you know, just round it up.
Yeah.
That's a real nice thing.
And buy them lunch.
Pizza, you know what's the best mover food? Pizza is the best mover food in the world.
Carbs.
Because you literally have carbs, it's fast, it's accessible everywhere, and guess what? It takes you about 30 seconds to eat it, right? And then go back to work, right?
Exactly, totally. So honestly, I'm glad you said that because I always get a pie.
It's the best. Always. It doesn't have to be Grimaldi's, but if it is, that's...
whatever. No, it shouldn't be Grimaldi's. It should not. No offense,
the fine china you keep.
That's the one time you don't want Grimaldi.
Right, you keep the fine china for for special occasions.
You get like Ray's pizza or something like that.
DiGiorno.
Right. So let's now move it up. So really, your one bedroom move is going to cost you about a G.
Correct.
All right, which is, dude, I think more than fair. All right, now white glove that move. What's it going to cost? White glove, for all those who don't know, is when they come, like, you could, like, that morning, it'll look like you're not moving anywhere. They come into your house, they do everything.
Yeah.
They pack everything, they do everything for you.
I mean, you're probably going to be looking at, you know, an extra 30%, so we're probably looking at somewhere around $1,400 if I was to bring in an extra guy. And again, the biggest thing is just being able to, you know, on the labor side, because again, this stuff is heavy. You think about how much your dresser and everything.
Do they hate that? Like, do the movers, like, when they look in the morning, they're like, oh fuck, we gotta pack this one? Is that like a negative?
I would be lying if I said that not every
they gotta
day.
hate that.
It's hard, but at the end of the day, they also understand the scope of what needs to be done, right? And the most important thing that we tell our guys is you're a guest in someone's house every day.
Yeah.
So you never ever take it for granted. You never ever look at it and go, you know what, today I just don't feel like working hard today. Because especially when you're in 3 or 4 guys. Because if you don't pull your weight, guess who else it compounds on? The other guys that are with you for 8 hours in 100-degree heat.
You gotta get that.
Yeah, of course. And you know what? That's where we have move managers, we have an operations manager, we have mid-move calls. We have a lot of like just process in place that allows us to not only know how the customer's experience is, but also how are our guys doing, you know? So, you know, because at the end of the day, it's all about the move, and it's all about making sure that we're delivering on what, you know, what we promised.
So now talk to me, now let's go to the other side. So one bedroom move, we're talking anywhere from, if you want the white glove, let's call it $1,400.
Yep, yep.
Now let's call like a house, suburban house, right? So let's say like a 2,500 square foot house.
Totally.
We're moving, you know, somewhere nearby. It doesn't have to be far, but like
say Brooklyn, New Jersey.
Say Brooklyn, New Jersey. Fine, Brooklyn, New Jersey.
Okay.
2,500 square foot, white glove.
You're gonna be in somewhere between $3 and $4 grand probably.
3 and 4 grand.
Because essentially you might need more than one truck depending on.
That's not unpacking too. You don't.
No, I'm talking about right now just the furniture, moving 100 boxes.
There's no unpacking option, is there?
There is. I mean, so it's a good question. So we do unpacking. We don't do staging though. So the big difference is we will take the car. You don't want my guys decorating your house. Is what I'm saying.
Would that be awesome though? If you were like, look, just fucking move for me. I want you to move me. I want you to pack. I want to come. I want to come into my house the next day when it's done. Just tell me it's done.
I mean, I've been part of projects, but you need one more person than that.
Yeah, because how's someone gonna know where to put all the stuff? You know?
I mean, you would need somebody. And this is like the foo-foo stuff we're talking about. You need an interior decorator or an organizer or somebody who's going to be a little more. A little more
you can't
feng shui, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
you can't expect movers.
Movers don't, that's not their job. Like,
I think this would look great.
Meanwhile, all the other guys are carrying 500-pound, dresser up,
Hey, Mo, I think this chair would look great as an accent,
It doesn't work. But
I get it.
But yeah, I mean you're looking
so
but you're talking about a bigger project where it could take a couple days depending on like I said, multiple trucks, could be 5-6 guys. Again, is a third party needed? Do you have chandeliers or high value artwork, antiques? Yeah, so building.
What's the most common? What's the bread and butter for you guys?
For us, the most common is literally that one bedroom. As a again,
one bedroom guy.
One bedroom all day. So I would love to just take 3 guys, put them on a truck, and they go out there. And you know what?
Do you charge women more? Just because they need you. Guys could be like, dude, I'm gonna call a couple friends. We're gonna do.
You know what? I would be lying to you if I said that there was one sex over the other that actually need moving worse than the other. But it's New York City because at some point you don't want to do it. That's the whole point.
No one wants to move.
No one wants to move. And what's amazing is people who do moving never go back.
Well, you know what's funny? Here's the first question. When we get a client, right? Someone calls on an apartment, stuff. I train all the agents to do this, right? When are you looking to move? Right? Like, we need to know, do you have to move? Because if you don't have to move, you're not moving.
Correct.
Because moving sucks. And it's expensive.
It is.
It sucks, it's expensive. It's if you ask people what your number one stress is, moving would be that.
Duly noted.
Alright, we're going to play a game.
Awesome.
You ready?
I'm ready.
We're playing Price It Out.
Okay.
Alright, so we're going to 2 apartments in New York City.
Okay.
And you're going to tell me which one costs more.
I can do that.
Alright, here we got 139 Skillman right here in Williamsburg. It's a 471 square foot studio. There you go. I'll let you look at all that.
Okay. Got it.
Then we've got 149 Huron Street in Greenpoint. It's a 900 square foot studio. And this is a duplex. It
Okay.
also has outdoor space. I think it has outdoor space. Yes,
Wow.
it does.
Okay.
I think it's a no-brainer. I'm gonna go with Huron, but I don't know. Lloyd picks these out, and
I
sometimes
gotcha.
he's very confusing. He's very confusing.
So the big tell is the
I think this one. I mean, you gotta go with
double the square footage plus its
You gotta
upstairs
go.
and downstairs
Yeah,
space.
you gotta go with Huron.
Gotta go with Huron.
All right,
No?
so here I'll rip off the price
Fair
and see
enough.
where we're at. $765 on Huron. What was it?
635.
Yeah, well, wow, closer
There you
than
go.
you would have thought.
Okay.
All right.
Very good.
So now let's go to number 2. We got 904 Pacific Street.
Okay.
That is Crown Heights, and it's a 790 square foot apartment.
Okay.
There you go.
I think we did the move on that.
Did you do the move on that? Oh, get the fuck out of here. And then we got 35 South. Actually, you haven't because it's not sold yet.
Of course. I know.
35 South Elliott Place in Fort Greene, 650 square feet.
Okay.
I gotta go with that one.
No, you're going Fort Greene. Fort Greene is definitely going to be
I hear
more.
you. I'm looking at the common charges and they're so low, so I'm just thinking something's wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. You want to look at that one?
Sure. So
You're
let's
like,
see.
sure.
Yeah, let me see here. Let me
Sure,
get all
I'll rip
my
this
ducks in a
off
row.
while you're studying.
Let's see. All right. So yeah, because this is right by Atlantic. This is right by the Atlantic Terminal. So South Elliott Place. So
What do you got over there?
I got.
Oh, well, which one are you taking?
I'm taking this one right here.
You're gonna take
all
that
day,
one?
all
Okay.
day.
I think
Fort
you're
Greene.
wrong, but let's see.
I got 697.5.
Yeah, you're wrong. This is 849.
Oh, not even
Yeah.
close.
You know, you can look at the common charge. When the common charges are too low, something's wrong.
And that's why you're in real estate and I'm in moving.
100%.
So
That's why
that is why I do this path.
Common
of
charge,
business.
and if they're too high and you don't get anything with them, like
Yeah.
if the common charge, like I just sold an apartment actually
Okay.
in Fort Greene, and the common charges were like ridiculously high for what you got with the building. There was no elevator, no doorman. In fact, it's an
Really?
older building, and it was a 3-bedroom apartment. The common charges were like $800.
Wow.
And it's like, yeah, well, do you have a gym? Do you have a doorman? No, you don't have any of that stuff.
Got electricity, plumbing.
Yeah, it made no
Like
sense. The
doorknobs.
heat and hot water was included.
Oh, okay.
I will say that. But
Okay.
still, okay, there's $300 for that. All right, so here we got last one, 105 Butler Street
Okay.
in Borum Hill.
Okay.
Again, common charges are 140. It's questionable.
Oof.
2-bed, 1 bath. All right. Interesting.
Okay.
There are mistakes from time to time. You know, you catch the mistakes all the people think that the web is a foolproof system. Someone had to put in these numbers, and I'm telling you, really, I should start a company. It's a great idea. And I could go through listings and be like, mistake.
Everything on the internet is
Error.
true, though. I don't understand.
Error. Yeah, exactly.
That's the whole, that's what I was told at least.
No.
So, you know.
So, and then we got 191 Spencer in Bed-Stuy. It's 1,179 square feet.
That's a
Two
big-
bed, two
that's a
bath.
big
The common
apartment.
charges are 800.
That's a big apartment.
So that
too.
I might, you know what? In what's that show on HGTV where the
Flip a flop.
No, House Hunters.
There you go.
There's like a secret. I was on the House Hunters in California.
Really? Okay.
I did. It's my claim to fame.
Cool.
And
All
they went to 3 properties, and they told us you can always tell which ones they don't pick because they're furnished. Right? She's like, because basically they go to you and they're like, all right, you know, as a broker,
Yeah.
they're like, do you have any clients who have already are in contract or something? And, you know, and then, yeah, I have clients who are in contract. And then they're like, all right, well, now we need 2 decoys. And the 2 decoys are always furnished because they haven't moved yet.
Yeah.
And the one they bought is always empty because they're moving in. Right?
So it's not reality.
So it's not reality.
The match.
No, they don't find people who are like, sure, show me 3 and I'll buy 1. No, it doesn't work out. All right, so here we go. We got 1,179 square feet.
Okay.
Bed-Stuy. Or we have...
This
what
is
that,
105
Bourne
Butler in Bourne Hill,
Yeah, right.
which is 2 beds, 1 bath, condo.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, let me see.
It's
Oh.
crazy for Bed-Stuy to be Bourne Hill. That's probably never happened.
That's a big apartment, though, man.
It is a big apartment.
That is
It is also in Bed-Stuy.
true. I don't know, man. I go with the square. I go with this 2 beds, 2 baths. I go with the square footage. I'm
We
gonna
don't
go
have square footage on this one.
right, which also is deceiving. So,
But it also has air conditioning in the wall, which nobody likes that.
yeah.
I gotta go with the Bed-Stuy.
I go with Bed-Stuy till we die, right?
Bed-Stuy till we die. I think we're wrong, but let's see, 959 on the Bourne Hill.
860.
Yeah. So
Wow.
this one, wow. Let me tell you, 959 and the air conditioner's in the wall. I mean, that's a lot of money to have an air conditioner in the wall.
It's pretty new.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just saying, for $1 million, I'd like to have central air. That's all I'm saying.
That's the one thing that's always unique about New York too. Is
Yeah.
as expensive as it is here, there's no central air. Everything is 100 years old, so it's just brownouts and window units as far as the eye can see.
Crazy. Well, yeah, but you can put in those split units for not that much money.
Sure,
Yeah.
but who's going to do that when you could just put it in a window?
Well,
You
let
know,
me
and just
tell you, honestly,
burn the city out like a match. So
on
what's
my
the big deal?
checklist, on my checklist for living, like central air is like on that list. You know, come on. It's 2017 for Christ's sake. Right? Like really, no central air? That should be like you know what? I got a ticket this morning,
Yeah.
right, for holding my cell phone. I got a holding your cell phone ticket
Did you really?
in New York City. You're not allowed to hold. I wasn't using it or texting it. I was just holding it, and I got pulled over and given a summons for that. So I'm like, okay, it's very 2017 of you. I guess I was like, what if I was grabbing a drink of water? What if I wanted some water? They were like, look, that's not illegal. Holding your
Listen,
iPhone.
someone's got to
is
pay for the
illegal.
new Kosciuszko Bridge, right? So
Exactly.
you know,
It's me.
it starts with you.
Yeah, it's
so
gonna be the
you know,
Tamer Bridge.
exactly.
Well, dude, man, we're out of time, man.
All right. It was-
Our show's over.
This was fun. I mean, you got pizza, real estate, and
Yeah.
and it's dry, which is great.
I'm getting dripped on.
Ironically, you're the one
That's
getting
all about,
wet,
but
so,
I think
you know.
it'll be all right. But
Very
dude,
cool.
Thank you for coming, man. But you
pleasure.
plug the hell out of
Yeah.
the company.
So 2 men in a truck,
Yeah.
moving and storage, 4700 Northern Boulevard. Go to the website 2menandatruck.com.
No, actually, contact me, and then I'll send. I'll be like, no, actually, call me, and then I'll put you
The
in
shop,
touch with Joe.
the shop, and then also 2 men in a truck.
That's
All right, it's a pleasure.
Dude, you're awesome, man.
All
Thank
right.
you for coming.
My pleasure.
I appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, definitely. If anyone needs to move, contact Joe because he will take care of you very well. And Grimaldi's, thank you so much for
Big shout out to Grimaldi's.
giving us pizza because we love free pizza. And we'll see you next week. Take care, everybody.
Deuces.